Okay, good morning. This morning, my sister Linda and I are going to make or show you 5 substitutes for baking ingredients. Because, we've all gone to the pantry while we're making something and discovered, oops, should have gone to the store before I started cooking. So we're going to start with showing you what we're going to substitute. Over here, we have molasses and we have granulated sugar. And Linda is going to put a tablespoon of molasses in the granulated sugar. And then she's going to mix it together. Now this is going to make light brown sugar. And if you wanted dark brown sugar, you would use 2 tablespoons of molasses. Molasses is one of those things that's really sticky. What you can do if you're measuring it in a measuring cup is put some oil in the cup first so that the cup is oiled, and then the molasses will slide right out and the cup will be clean, except the oil is in it, so you have to wash it anyway. But
Fork was definitely the right tool.
yeah, it definitely was better than the whisk would have been.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's coming up looking pretty good. Coming up looking like light brown sugar.
Good on burn. Yeah.
Okay, while she's mixing that, I will show you how you make a buttermilk substitute. What we want to do to make buttermilk substitute is we have a cup of milk and we have a tablespoon of lemon juice, and we just mix the two together.
I'm thinking our grandmother, if she didn't have buttermilk, I'm thinking she added vinegar.
Yep, you can add vinegar. I use lemon juice just because I have like a gallon of the stuff because I buy it at Costco. But yeah, you can use vinegar just fine.
Beautiful brown sugar.
It does look good. That looks better than the brown sugar I buy. I might have to do that. Okay, so I've got the milk with the lemon juice in it, and we're going to set that aside. And what that's going to do actually is make that milk kind of chunky like sour milk, because an acid in milk kind of does that. But it gives the milk the tanginess it needs to make the cake taste right. And that's a common substitute for buttermilk. Boy, that's going to come up on that microphone. Then we're going to show you cake flour. I don't always use cake flour, but we're going to take a 1 3/4 of all-purpose flour, and we're going to put in a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And what that does is reduce the protein in the flour so that it makes it a more tender crumb on the cake.
Now, I watched Ken measure flour, and I never knew there were different ways of getting a correct measurement of flour. He has a video on it. It's really interesting how...
I'll link that video up above.
Okay, I think that's enough.
I will tell you now, if you're one of the people that just scoops into the bag of flour and then levels it off, you're getting way too much flour in whatever you're making.
Yeah, I've always done that.
And you always have way too much flour in whatever you're making.
Yeah.
You might not have known it till you tasted the fine Gringo Baker stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to make baking powder. And baking powder is, I've got this label somewhere, but it's on it. It's actually on the jar. This is cream of tartar, and this is baking soda. And here in Puerto Rico, I keep stuff in jars because It's a little too humid and sometimes a little bit too buggy to not keep them in jars. So we're mixing a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar with a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, and that makes baking powder. Then the only other substitute we have is none. Right? No, eggs. These do not look like eggs, but that's 2 eggs. That each of these is 4 ounces of unsweetened applesauce. And to substitute for 1 egg, you replace it with a quarter cup of unsweetened applesauce. You can also use mashed bananas. You can use flaxseed. There's several substitutes for an egg.